stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up.
If you would all please stand for the national anthem to be performed by Haley DeRosa, Reese Johnson, and Kelsey LaRock.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Good morning, and thank you for being here today to celebrate our graduates. We acknowledge that we are gathered on Indigenous territory. The Missoula and Bitterroot Valleys are the original homelands of the Salish, Pend Oreille, and Kalispel people who inhabited this land since time immemorial. This area was also frequented by other tribes, including the Kootenai, the Blackfeet, the Shoshone, Crow, and Kiowa. We honor the original stewards of this land and their descendants, many of whom continue to live, work, teach, and learn in this community. We are committed to showing gratitude for the land and its indigenous people by respecting and remembering this in our thoughts and our actions. It is also with great excitement and pride that I announce a historic moment in our Missoula County Public Schools graduation ceremony, the debut performance of a Native American honor song by our very own student and staff group. Let us come together to warmly welcome the Missoula County Public Schools Native American Student Drum Group, led by Sean Whitegrass and Brittany Hunter, as they sing an honor song to our graduates. And to honor our graduates, if you are able, would you please stand? Thank you very much. Graduates and community, please be seated.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sentinel High School's 2025 graduation ceremony. We first want to thank everyone who has gotten every single one of us here. Take pride in your role in getting all of us to these fancy folding chairs.
Between all the football games, school concerts, procrastinated assignments, and assemblies that never seem to end, we are glad that we have all finally made it here together. These past 4 years have changed us, and yet entertained so many fun moments with those we've learned to love.
Inevitably, we will look back on this and miss it, and not because we loved it, but because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And in our next steps, we'll be using what we learned as Spartans to make new memories and friendships.
We would like to wish you all luck in your future endeavors. And with that, I would like to introduce our principal, Miss Stephanie Tennis.
Thank you, John and Kelsey. Your commitments to student government led all year. We appreciate you, and there is no doubt that both of your futures are extremely bright. Good morning, family, friends, staff, and most importantly, the graduates of Sentinel High School's class of 2025. It is my great honor to welcome you to this celebration of hard work, growth, and promise for what's next in your lives. First, let me introduce our guests on stage. We have our board chair, Walina Oldperson. Trustee, Arlene Walker-Andrews. Trustee, Jenny Walsh. Superintendent, Micah Hill. Assistant Superintendent Amy Shattuck, and your commencement speaker and Sentinel Custodian Extraordinaire, Mark Miner. I also want to recognize the Sentinel staff whose passion and commitment has guided your journey both inside and outside of their classrooms. A special thank you to Grade 12 Assistant Principal, Mr. Craig Metler, and Grade 12 Counselor, Mr. Aaron Shattuck. Thank you, Sentinel teachers, secretaries, support staff, and paras, cooks, custodians, nurses, substitutes, coaches, advisors, and assistant principals. You are most definitely the best. Would all Sentinel staff, or would all the audience please help me to recognize our Sentinel staff? Thank you, parents and guardians. Without you, we are not a community. Your partnership makes a huge difference, and we appreciate you. Graduates, today marks the culmination of 13+ years of memories, lessons, and transformation. Take a moment and look back. What are your best memories? And no, skipping spear cannot be an answer. What made you most nervous? Finally, think of the moments you felt so proud and so inspired. These memories have shaped you. Hold them close because life is short, and in a blink, today's experiences are going to be memories themselves. Class of 2025, you are ready for what comes next. Carry these memories in your heart, let them drive your adventures, and always, always remember where you began. Congratulations, Spartans. Sentinel is truly proud of you.
hold your breath. Make a wish and count to 3.
It is often stated that it takes a village. When your village includes parents, teachers, support staff, and a custodian for the past 10 years named Mark Miner, you have a special village. In the words of Mr. Joe Fisher when he recognized Mr. Miner recently, your work is what you do in your daily life that inspires. Your work is what you do to make a difference. Your work fills your souls. You know it is your work when the toil is worth it because of the joy that you make, not the money you take. Your work is what creates connection, community, and identity. Mark is all this and much more. Although I am highly nervous about the contents of his speech, it is my great honor to introduce the class of 2025 selection as your commencement speaker, our friend and colleague, our forever Santa Claus, Mr. Mark Miner.
Wow, look at all these people. This is way more than showed up for my parole board hearing. Just kidding, just kidding. But seriously, thank you for being here. Now that I have your attention, let's take a moment to thank the folks that love you and have guided you to this point. If there's three things I want to leave you with today, it's these. Be kind, be patient, and give 110% in everything you do, whether it's working for yourself, for someone else, in sports, or your relationships. Almost 5 decades ago, I was in your shoes, standing on the edge of adulthood, wondering how the world would treat me. But looking back, I realized I should have been asking myself something more important. How should I treat the world? So let's take a trip down my memory lane with some stories and lessons that are still worth holding on to today. I remember when I was about 14 years old, I ran my mouth once too often to my mom. My punishment? Dad sent me to my uncle's ranch for the entire summer. He was part of the silent generation. Not the nicest, kindest of men. There were no delineated tasks. The goal was to find it, fix it, move on. I learned the value of hard work as I strung more fence wire than I cared to, and earned only $50 for my months of work. I learned to keep my words soft and sweet, because someday I may have to eat them. There were no shortcuts back then. If you wanted something, you earned it. Hard work wasn't optional. It was the only path forward. No internet, no apps, just grit. It taught us discipline, built character, and shaped us for success. I remember when maybe I was about 18 or so and came home late one night, only to hear my sister, 8 years my junior, crying. She had had a bad argument with our mother. I consoled her. We played Monopoly until 3 in the morning, then decided to go to the lake cabin. By the way, it was late January and in Minnesota, and 60 miles from home. We just took off. We didn't tell our parents. Later, we learned that they didn't even notice that we were gone until around 10 o'clock the next morning. Oh, the good old days. There was no food nor running water at the cabin, but we had a plan. Stone soup, which consisted of melted snow and Lipton bouillon. We ice fished at 6 a.m., and while we didn't catch anything, we did freeze our fingers. We did appreciate the simplicity of embracing the outdoors and self-reliance. On our way home, the snow was deep, the wind was howling, and consequently, I got the car stuck. However, it was a great experience for my sister, as it was the first time she got to drive the car. We laughed, smiled, and depended upon each other. We made memories in the little things, shared meals, laughter, and the first snowfall. Today, let's not overlook what truly brings us joy, being outside. Sunlight was our screen time. We built forts, climbed trees, got scraped knees, and we loved it. Let's encourage others and ourselves to go outside and reconnect with nature more often. When my bike chain popped off, I didn't Google it. I just got grease on my hands and figured out the way out of the obstacle. We learned to rely on ourselves, not always the fastest way, but often the most rewarding. Now let's talk about the art of conversation. Be able to tell someone to go to hell so that they look forward to the trip. Hey, vocabulary matters. Words matter. Meanings matter. I remember learning that I cannot assume someone knows what I am saying in a text or other digital form. Being able to converse with someone and creating memories that emojis can't begin to touch allows you to speak face-to-face with someone without cowardice. It keeps you in line with your moral compass. A good talk over coffee beats 100 texts any day. Before Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, we used eye contact, inflection, tone, and connection. Let's bring back the beauty of a real conversation. Now, patience is a virtue. We didn't expect things instantly. We waited. We waited for mail, for phone calls, for things that we saved up for. And in that waiting, we learned self-control, gratitude, and perspective. I remember I had already graduated high school. I was 18 or 19. My best friend, myself, and our girlfriends went to the Minnesota lake home to swim that summer and have a bonfire. The day before we left, a considerable windstorm snapped a 6-foot diameter cottonwood tree down between our family's cottage and our neighbors. We did not wait for parents or adults to tell us what to do. We knew that we needed to get to work, all of us. So we did. We just got the chainsaws, cut up the tree, moved the branches into piles and out of the way so that they could dry for next year's campfires. We did this not only for ourselves, but for our neighbors. You work to make other lives easier when possible. If it would have been up to our neighbors' kids, they would have done the same thing for us. We supported families and communities. We didn't need praise for doing the right thing when nobody was watching. You didn't just borrow sugar from a neighbor, you borrowed strength. Families ate together. Neighbors looked out for one another. In a world that values independence over interdependence, let's remember that no one thrives alone. Does anybody read anymore? I know I do. I have read 11 books and 4,002 pages since Thanksgiving. Consider how many books and pages you have read in the last 6 months. I have always been a reader, and not just because we only had 3 TV channels, but because especially now I see the same old narratives lacking any specific moral direction. The first book I read in its entirety was a Western called Bonanza. I identified with Hoss. He was big, quiet, tough, and protective. The second book I read was The Godfather by Amerigo Bonacera. He sought vengeance. While I didn't, I wanted to be a Methodist minister. But I could understand the power he wanted without wanting it myself. I can feel, see, touch the situations, the plot, the word choice, and the imagery. Through the written word, you can vividly experience circumstances, maybe not at least in the same manner in multi-mediums, or maybe never in real life. But the word is there. I love a story, a good story that forces me to use my imagination in ways that I had never done before. Books take us away to faraway lands, introduces us to new ideas, and teaches us to think for ourselves. In a world of distractions, reading is still one of the best ways to grow. How about respect now? Let's jump 30 years past my freshman high school self. My mom sent me a box with a small gift. The gift was cushioned by my hometown's newspaper, crumpled and tightly packed. Before I got to the gift, I began unfolding the newspaper pages and came across an article about Mr. Gerald O'Connor. He was retiring after 40 years of teaching. He was by far my favorite teacher. He taught biology, which was of interest to me. However, that isn't necessarily why he was my favorite teacher. It was because he listened. He cared that we understood the material. He was the first teacher to know that I had had an epiphany in the classroom. He could see the moment I got it. He was teaching us about glucose, blood sugar, which was not an everyday part of conversation at that time. I had no idea the effects of too much or too little until that moment. I handwrote him a note, not knowing if he'd even remember me, thanking him for his kindness and patience. He graciously responded about how he was proud of me for not taking knowledge for granted. My point is to remember that you learn and from whom you learned it from. That is where true respect lies. We were taught to respect elders, teachers, each other, and ourselves. Respect wasn't optional. It was the glue that held families, schools, communities together. Let's teach it, model it, and live by it. So as you leave here today, I ask you to take one thing with you: your story. Own it, write it, rewrite it if you have to, but make sure it's yours. Be true to yourself. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, you must do the thing you think you cannot do. So to the next generation, these lessons may sound old-fashioned, but trust me, they still work. Be kind, be patient, work hard, and remember, you don't just live in this world, you help shape it. Class of 2025, thank you and congratulations.
Boy, you were on your best behavior, Mr. Minor. Thank you. Next, it is my honor to introduce your senior class speaker, Simon Montesilio. To illustrate, real quick, Simon, to illustrate just how remarkable he is, I'll quote his teachers. Simon is talented, kind, dedicated, focused, inclusive, hilarious, and hardworking. An excellent musician and writer, Simon goes above and beyond with assignments and is a key contributor in discussions. He is a friend to all and has a great sense of humor. Simon moved to the U.S. from the Philippines as a child, became a citizen, and joined Sentinel as a sophomore. His work ethic and eagerness to embrace all that American school offers has impressed everyone around him. Please join me in welcoming Simon Montesilio.
Hello. I wrote the following speech in the shower because shower thoughts are the caffeine to my essays. I am deeply honored to be up here today to deliver this speech for the class of 2025. The best year. Mathematically the best year. It's a perfect square. Anyway, I would like to thank all of my friends, family, teachers, the very patient people at the front office, and all the faculty for being with me on this awkward yet pivotal journey. And seriously, let's give a huge hand to our custodians. Without them, our school would look like my room. So, congratulations. Congratulations to those who have contracted senioritis from day one and to those who have denied the existence from senioritis until the very end. Congratulations to those who do the assignments as the teacher is providing instructions, and to those who swear they're gonna do it tomorrow. To those who have spent every weekend and night after school working, and to those who have spent every possible waking moment to nap. To those who have the next several years planned after today, to those who are contemplating college, to those who have already decided on a college but not a major, and to those who just don't know. And don't worry, that's a part of the process. Whatever differences that set us apart, we all share this one common goal: to make it. And clearly, judging by all of the purple caps and gowns sitting in front of me, we've made it. We have finally passed the roads of high school education towards the gates of independence. It has been a long, but certainly horrifyingly fast 4 years. Some of us may have feared getting older, but now we're facing that fear head on. Not just in a motivational, figurative sense, but we are literally getting older by seconds as I'm speaking. Go us. I'm proud of us. I mean it. I'm proud of us. I may not know every single graduating student in front of me, but I can trust that all of us have done something to be proud of. If anyone here regrets anything, I'm proud of you for regretting. Because without regret, how could we ever reflect and improve? I'm proud of all of the times you put in 100%, even when it didn't feel like 100%. All our 100% vary from person to person, day by day. I'm proud of you for graduating. Oh, high school is hard. I'm proud of you for being here. I'm proud of you for being. So, with that in mind, I hope it encourages you to be proud of yourself too. You deserve it. Because right in front of me is a population of spearheads who are going to thrust themselves through the barriers of their futures. And, of course, like all weapons do, we're going to experience some wear and tear along the way. So, take care of yourselves. Thank you.
Seniors, this is the moment. By the authority vested in me by the state of Montana and the Montana Office of Public Instruction, I present to you and to the Board of Trustees for Missoula County Public Schools the members of the Sentinel High School class of 2025 as having fulfilled all of the requirements and obligations to be awarded a diploma from Missoula County Public Schools. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and honor to present to you the 2025 graduates of Sentinel High School. Congratulations.
Andrew Philip Walter Arnold. Skylin Rose Albertson. Jackson Devon Allery. Mateo Jose Amaline. Xander Anthony Ammons. James J. Justin Anderson. Maddox Joseph Anderson. Barrett Lee Armentrout. Adeline Lucina Asher. Shay Hazel Bailey. Alexia Lynn Bartholomew. Harrison Alexander Beal. Brooklyn Autumn Bodette. Lydia Jean Becker. Kira Ruth Bellinger. Kale Kaimana Benson. Allie Montana Berger. Siren Amy Byan. Noah George Bombard. Memphis Marie Bostick. Caitlin K. Bradford. Alana Maria Brevik. James Marvin Broomfield III. Eli Billy Brothers. Aiden James Brown. Lillian Marie Bundy. Isabel Jasmine Burgess. Braden Andrew Burke. Hayden Eric Burris. Tristan Michael Butler. Colt Richard Callahan. Logan Earl Carlson. Shay Madison Casagrande. Presley Lynn Castle. Jonathan Wayne Charlo Jr. Morgan Rose Chef Nickel. Colton Alexander Christensen. Josie June Christensen. Olivia Elizabeth Cisternos. Matthew Lee Clegg. Madeline Ruth Klein. Oliver Chris Collins. Tyler Bradley Collins. Corin Joel Contreras. Addison Anna Conwell. Titan Morgan Cooney. Elizabeth Carmen Cornelius. Callie Barbara Crass. John Forrest Clark Crawford. Arden Richard Krauser. Corbin Michael Culp. Patrick Christopher Davis. Silas Lloyd DeBusk. Cadence Lanaylan Deering. Shaylin Jewel Denning. Sagelyn Paige Dennison. Haley Jo DeRosa. Lark Evelyn Deskins. Lily Bryn Durkis. Seth Harold Dowdle. Justice Rain Downing. Aubrey Ann Duman. Blake Henry Dunning. Liam Patrick Dunning. Zephin Eric Dines. Taylor Bell Eckley. Noah Richard Edgar Bolton. Caitlin Ashley Evans. Cadence Faith Jean Fastabend. Tegan Michael Fielding.
Maria Elaine Flores. Sophia Jean Foster. Nora Rose Frame. Elizabeth Catherine Franzen. Darren Alexander Fuller. Drew Raymond Fuller. Dominic Joseph Wayne Fuss. Luke William Gardner. Paige Serenity Gambin. Caden Rock Godot. Landon Mark Gerke. Drew Bruno Gersel. Landon Todd Gibbs. Cameron Kai Olivia Gillis. Aiden Sung Gitto. Annalise Marie Glasser. Zaina Marie Gobert. Ella Pearl Geltz. Sydney Catherine Goldbar. Brendan Lee Gauss. Amelia Lynn Graham. Lincoln Jeffrey Green. Elizabeth Marlene Gregoire. Maxwell Charles Grisey. Ezra Francis Kelman Gross. Grace Elizabeth Gruch. Tanner Patrick Gruch. Michaela Renee Gustafson. Dakota Jack Guzman. Ryan James Hadel. Madeline Grace Hall. Caitlin Groshaw Hammett. Aiden Murphy Harmon. Aiden Thomas Harvey. Jackson Robert Hatfield. Adara Lynn Howard. Charles Jude Hayhurst. Elisha Robert Henderson. Marshall Alexander Henderson. Miller Andrew Hensel. Micaiah K. Henson. Violet Hunter Hikus. Sydney Drew Hill. John William Heyer. Colden Arthur Hockman. Porter James Gibson Hoffman. Sydney Ann Holdorf. Luca Jacob Hummerding. Jack James Huffman. Eli Thomas Imhoff. Tyler William Inabnit. Caleb Matthew Lee Johnson. Jesslyn Moriah Johnson. Joshua Dwayne Johnson Jr. Reese Zane Johnson. Reese Abigail Johnson. Trevor Ryan Johnson. Caitlin Sue Marie Jones. Jaden Ernest Jones. Christina Flower Joy. Jude Donovan Juno. Hunter Quinn Roybal Kahila. Mayana Emily Cantor. Tegan Alexis Carabinch. Maliki Lachlan Kavanaugh. Addison Louise Kendall. Joshua David Cecil Kenny. Lily Lila King. Connor Maloney Klump. Jace Dean Kashaka. Jane Stevens Kalina.
It's not on. Ariana Larae La. Catherine Renee Lampole. Kelsey Joe Larac. Weston J. Lawson. Colin Michael Lurbach. Emily Catherine Linderman. Denali Quinn Lyle. Taya Ryan Lockridge. Alexander James Lynn. Sadie Marie Grace Maloney. Lydia Grace Maney. Saraya Lynn Pumnia Mantle. Olivian Reese Mensingani. Savannah Malia Moronic. See that? Patience Marie Matt. Isabel Lily Maynard. Gibson Joseph McAfee. Risa Callie McCollum. Riley Ray McLeod. Madison Shea Mefford. Olivia Ann Mercado Laundry. Joseph Boone Modery. Simon Gabriel Ricaplaza Monticello. Skylar Grant Moore. Emma Brooke Mountain. Benjamin Russell Myers. Matthew Elliott Neves. Parker Miles Nato. Delilah Lynn Nelson. Ryan Xander Scott J.T. Nielsen. Raleigh Jane Noon. Hudson James Noddy. Landon William Niseth. Matthias Martin Niseth. Eric Arthur Ogren. William Olin Oy. Annika Dawn Oyen. Hayden Daniel Olson. Sophia Wren Olson. Noah Summers Orton. Bryce Jasper Ostrom. Jordan Alexander Otis. Nathaniel Andrew Parker. Aaron David Parks. Aliaben Indiraben Patel. Karma Trifina Bauer. Patey. Sunny Marie Patton. Jenquin Peng. Angel Aaliyah Perez. Taylor Bailey Peters. Vincent Pascal Peters. Blake Andrew Peterson. Lola Christine Peterson. Savannah Lee File. Harley Kate Pohl Smith. Sean Patrick Polk. Ciela Paule. Golden Jadis Porter. Leah Christine Putman. Bailey Renee Randall. McKenna Joe Raup. Easton James Reimer. Caitlin Maya Reinecke. James Patrick Reynolds. Caleb Michael Rich. Holly Marie Ridley. Russell Owen Rivers. Eliana Jean Roberts.
Jaden Richard Rook. Bridger Keenan Rose. Reese Tammy Rosenbach. Nina Ray Samori. Ashton Irene Sanders. Adeline K. Schick. Rowan David Schooler. Aiden Clark Schrader. Mila Rose Scott. Ella Noel Seaver. Haley Jade Sellers. Paul James Sellers. Liza Noel Shadow. Benjamin Tyler Shawls. Northy James Shea. Presley Elizabeth May Shellman. Giovanni Robert Shepard. Mary Peyton Size. Luke James Slovarp. Brandon Matthew Slusher. Avery Deanne Smith. Brayson Allen Snook. Cale Michael Spears. Tyler Bodie Stanton. Avery James Stevens. Audrey Joy Stiers. Paxton Taylor Stitz. Poppy Jane Strachan. Paige Eleanor Sullivan. Talon Michael Sunderland. Alexander Jacob Sikowski. Carter James Taylor. Lois Leah Tegater. Gabrielle Elizabeth Temple. Annabelle Catherine Thomas. Preston Lake Thormelin. McKenna Hope Thorson. Cadence Rose Timbrook. Braden Scott Todd. Carson Thomas Tao. Riley David Twig. Nicholas Santino Umale. Charlie Nicole Unsworth. Maxwell Charles Upton. Danica Catherine Urbanek. Jadis Savon Veal. Kay Vesey. Aiden Gregory Voller. Richard Joseph Wagner. Jordan Tyler Wallace. Skylar Jordan Walter. Dylan Arthur Ward. Cadence Lee Warnicki Klepzig. Daria Linda Waters. Christian Casey Wattenberg. Maria Catherine Weisbrick. Andy Nancy Marie Whites. Olivia Yvonne Wheeler. Calden Ray White. Luke James Widman. Sydney Elizabeth Willette. Reese Elizabeth Williams. Levon Shea Kyreel Wilson. Maddie Joe Wilson. Harper Weatherly Woodall. Caden Richard Worley. Brooklyn Ray Wright. Connor Mackenzie Barnhouse. Ashley Tace Merrill. Grace Marianne Peterson. Lauren Ann Rudolph. Amira Rose Standing Rock. And McKenna Marie Partain.
All right, congratulations, everyone. To conclude our ceremony and for the official graduation, I am privileged to introduce two exceptional individuals who truly exemplify kindness and leadership during their time together through Cold Springs, through Meadow Hill, and to our benefit, Sentinel High School. Your senior class presidents, Hudson Naughty and Tyler Stanton.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen,
Faculty,
parents,
grandparents,
aunts,
uncles,
brothers,
sisters,
cousins,
friends,
and of course, the class of 2025. My name is Tyler Stanton,
and my name is Hudson Naughty,
and we are the class of 2025.
co-class presidents.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. As you may know, we are here to celebrate the class of 2025 on closing this chapter in our lives and moving on to the next.
But we're not there quite yet. Everyone's high school experience is different, but everyone here, I'm sure, remembers their first day. That feeling, a concoction of nerves and curiosity. We all had the opportunity to meet people, whether that be students or teachers, that influence us into becoming not just friends or students, but better human beings.
High school has been a discovery of growth and change. 4 years ago, we all entered Sentinel as kids, trying to find our place in ourselves. Now we leave here a little taller, a little wiser, and hopefully a little more confident in who we are.
Graduates, here we stand, diplomas in hand, ready to face whatever life may throw at us. We've stumbled and we've risen. There were days where the weight of homework, stress of studying, and the expectations felt overwhelming. But there were also days of levity, the moments of laughter in the hallways, deep conversation with friends, and the overall victories that reminded us why we were here and why we needed to keep pushing.
We didn't get here alone. To our teachers, thank you. Thank you for dedicating your time and energy, as well as the belief in all of us. You didn't just prepare us for the tests, you prepared us for life.
And to our classmates, this is our moment. Whether we were friends, teammates, or just shared a class or two, we were part of something bigger than ourselves. We built this experience together.
Here we are today, dressed up one more time, all together, to walk across the stage and to celebrate this huge milestone in life. And as we go forward, we'll take different paths. Some of us to college, some of us to military, others to work, and some still figuring it out. But that's okay. The future isn't something we need to have figured out now. It's something we'll build on one step at a time, and we'll take those steps and create lives we are proud of. Class of 2025.
We did it.
Now, graduates, please rise. And join me from turning your tassel from the right to the left.
Thank you.